So I'm going to throw it open for questions at this point. So feel free to jump in the chat or use your microphone, whichever way.
Mark, how would you characterize the landing of the bypass turn 5 at Thunderhill east down into the left at 6? Is that considered a rhythm because you have the weight transfer, or is that considered a high speed because you're coming into 6, 7, 8?
That one's weird. They're very, I can't think of any other corner quite like that. There's always going to be ones that are hard to categorize. If you know, so I would draw analogies to taxonomy, taxonomy of species. There's always species that people end up with and go, I don't know, it doesn't really fit with anything else. And that one is just a weird corner that has to be thought about in isolation. Now, one of the things I think about with that corner is like turn 3 into 4, I try to accelerate hard as I approach 6. And 6 is much faster than a lot of people think. So by accelerating hard as I approach 6, as I do a speed adjustment, which could be lift or brake depending on the car, I get a good weight transfer. So I get a really nice turn in so that I can get back to, I want to carry high min speed through 6 and get back to throttle quickly. I want both of those through 6.
How would you differentiate that from Phil Hill / Magic Mountain going counterclockwise at Buttonwillow?
Okay, so Phil Hill, Magic Mountain in either direction. I put that in my kink category. Let me go back to here. All right, so Phil Hill is the bottom center corner, and it has a shape that's similar to these other corners. I treat it in a similar manner in that I try to get my speed adjustment done early and get back to throttle early. The fact that I've got a crest puts an extra premium on early throttle. In general, when you have a crest, you'd like to be on throttle before the crest. It smooths out the handling. As the rear axle comes over the crest, if you haven't applied throttle, it's going to tend to be light and get potentially give you some oversteer. So you want it to get to a little throttle to get that back end planted. It's similar to turn 6 at Laguna Seca. There's a crest before the apex. If you go over that crest without having a little bit of weight on the rear axle, that's not going to be good. So to me, turn the bypass at Thunderhill does not really fit well with these, but similar to Phil Hill, you do want to get to the throttle before the crest. But it's just an odd corner because of that landing. It is a very severe landing on the other side.
Thank you.
So if looking at this diagram a little bit more, top center is the bus stop at Buttonwillow. And if you look at the angle of there, you think, wow, that one's got to be fast. But you have to consider there is curbing at the apex. And to achieve that line, you need to drive over the curving. So that slows it down considerably. If you look to the right of it in the top right, that is turn 10 at Watkins Glen. You think, well, that's sharper, so it's got to be slower. Well, that corner is nicely banked, so it is actually faster than the bus stop. So you got to factor in these modifications. The fastest might be the kink because it doesn't. It's got a nice big radius, and there's nothing funny going on with camber or elevation, so on. If you look at towards the left side, bottom left is turn 9 at Buttonwillow or at Thunderhill, and turn 6 at Laguna Seca. And when you look at those, you go, well, those you're changing direction a lot, so they should be slow. Well, they're faster than they have any right to be because of the hill at the exit. In both cases, there's a hill that catches you, and you come through at a speed that may not make any sense when you're at the apex, but that hill grabs you. It gives you, it slows down the car because you're climbing, but also the car presses into that and has very high traction. So all of these nuances have to be considered. But what they have in common is I want to get my speed adjustment out of the way early. I want to get to an early throttle, especially if there's a crest, any of that type of, or a curb, various types of nonsense which can upset the car. And really slow hands and don't do anything crazy with the feet. So that's why I lump these together despite all their differences. Okay, well, thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate your attention. If you think of anything else, be sure to send me an email. I may try to do these about once a month and on different topics. So if there's a topic, if anybody has a favorite topic, let me know and see if we can fit it in.